Hello friends, I am here to tell you a relaxing story which leads you to sleep with sweet dreams. Let's start our new story from Chapter 1. Chapter 1, The Silent Meadow. As the sun began its slow descent toward the horizon, the world seemed to breathe a little slower, a little softer. The golden light of the late afternoon wrapped itself gently around the earth, casting long, soft shadows across the land. There was a stillness in the air, as if nature itself were holding its breath, waiting for something magical to happen. In the heart of this peaceful landscape, nestled between gentle hills, lay a meadow. Its grass a rich, deep green, swaying lazily in the warm breeze. The flowers, painted in shades of lavender, pale yellow, and soft pink, dotted the field like tiny stars, their petals trembling ever so slightly as if they too were aware of the approaching evening. A feeling of calm hung over the meadow, as though the day was slowly releasing its grip, making way for the serenity of the night. A soft breeze stirred the tall grasses, causing them to whisper secrets to one another. The air was cool yet warm, a gentle reminder that the day had come to its end, and the night was waiting patiently just beyond the horizon. The sound of distant birdsong echoed in the distance, a sweet melody that seemed to soothe the heart and quiet the mind. Every now and then, a bird would glide gracefully across the sky, its wings catching the last rays of sunlight before they faded into the soft pastel hues of twilight. In the meadow, all was calm. The trees that bordered the field stood tall and proud, their leaves rustling ever so gently in the breeze, as if whispering lullabies to the earth below. The air was thick with the scent of wildflowers and fresh grass, the kind of fragrance that made you feel safe and content, like the embrace of an old friend. As the last of the sunlight dipped beneath the horizon, the world seemed to pause for just a moment, as if everything were holding its breath in anticipation. The shadows grew longer, and the sky above slowly turned a deep velvet blue, dotted with the first twinkling stars of the night. In the center of the meadow stood a small figure, a traveler who had been journeying for hours. Their steps were light and slow, their eyes closed for a moment as they took in the beauty of the scene. They could feel the softness of the earth beneath their feet and the coolness of the breeze as it caressed their skin. There was something magical about this place, something that made them feel as though they had entered a world untouched by time. A place where the worries of the day could melt away into the soft night air. With a deep breath, the traveler smiled softly, the peacefulness of the meadow wrapping itself around them like a warm, comforting blanket. It was a place to pause, to reflect, and to be. The stillness here wasn't empty or silent, but full of the soft, soothing hum of nature. Quiet, but alive with an energy that brought peace to the soul. In that moment, the traveler knew they had arrived at exactly the right place. The silent meadow, bathed in the soft glow of twilight, was the perfect refuge. It was a place where time moved gently, where the mind could rest, and the heart could beat slowly, peacefully as the evening unfolded around them. And so as the breeze whispered through the grasses and the stars began to twinkle above, the traveler closed their eyes once more, allowing themselves to sink deeper into the quiet, serene embrace of the meadow, ready to let the night lead them further into the dream-filled world that awaited. Chapter 2, The Starlit Path. The soft twilight deepened as the sun sank completely behind the hills, and the meadow transformed into a vast sea of shadows and whispers. The travelers stood at the edge of the meadow, their gaze drawn toward a narrow path that wound its way through the tall grasses and into the forest. The path glimmered faintly, illuminated by the soft light of fireflies that danced through the air like tiny flickering stars. Each light appeared for a moment, then vanished, only to reappear again, guiding the way forward. The air had grown cooler now, and the gentle breeze carried the scent of pine and earth from the forest beyond. The stars, now fully awake, sparkled in the deep blue sky, casting their soft glow upon the land. The moon, a silver crescent, hung low in the sky, casting a pale light upon the world below. It was the kind of night that felt endless, as if time itself had decided to slow down and allow the world to rest. The traveler took a deep, steadying breath, inhaling the cool, crisp air, and stepped onto the path. The soft crunch of leaves and twigs beneath their feet was the only sound that accompanied them as they ventured deeper into the forest. The path, though winding and narrow, was clear enough to follow. It curved gently around large stones and under arching branches, each step taking the traveler further from the meadow and into the heart of the forest. As they walked, the fireflies continued to hover around them, their tiny lights like floating lanterns that illuminated the way. The traveler felt a sense of wonder rise within them. There was something about the night, the fireflies, and the soft glow of the stars that filled the air with magic. The further they walked, the more the world around them seemed to quieten, as though the forest was holding its breath, waiting for something. The trees stood tall and ancient, their branches stretching high into the sky, reaching for the stars. Their leaves rustled gently in the breeze, creating a soft melodic sound like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The forest, bathed in the soft glow of the moon, looked almost otherworldly, ethereal and alive with the pulse of nature. In the distance, the traveler could hear the faint murmur of a stream, its waters babbling softly as it made its way through the forest, adding another layer of tranquility to the scene. The path ahead was lined with delicate flowers, their petals glowing faintly in the moonlight. Each bloom seemed to offer a silent invitation to pause and take in the beauty of the moment. The traveler stepped slow, drawn to the soft fragrance of the flowers, a mix of lavender and wild mint. They paused for a moment, letting the scent wrap around them like a comforting embrace. As they stood there, the fireflies flickered around them, their gentle glow casting soft, dancing shadows on the ground. The stars above twinkled even more brightly now, and the moon shone like a polished silver coin, casting a serene light over the entire forest. The traveler felt as if they were walking through a dream, each step taking them deeper into a world of calm and wonder. The path ahead seemed to stretch endlessly, but there was no sense of hurry, no rush to reach the end. The journey itself was the destination. The traveler walked on, feeling the peace of the forest wash over them, the weight of the world lifting with each step. The gentle murmur of the stream grew louder, adding its soothing sound to the symphony of the night. As the traveler continued down the starlit path, they realized that they were not just walking through the forest, they were walking through a dream, a place where time had no meaning and only peace existed. The night with its endless sky, the twinkling stars, and the soft, cool air wrapped around them like a blanket. There was nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just the quiet, gentle rhythm of the journey leading them deeper into the heart of the forest and into the embrace of the night itself. With each step, the traveler felt a little lighter, a little more at peace as they followed the path deeper into the world of twilight and dream. Chapter 3. The Enchanted Stream. As the traveler continued along the starlit path, the air around them seemed to grow even cooler, carrying with it the refreshing scent of damp earth and moss. The rhythmic sound of their footsteps on the soft forest floor was now joined by a new gentle sound, the soft bubbling of water. It was faint at first, like a whispered secret carried on the wind, but as they moved forward, the sound grew clearer and more distinct. The traveler's heart lifted at the melody of the stream, its murmurs like a lullaby, inviting them to follow. Soon the trees began to part, and the path opened up to a serene clearing. Before them, the moonlight illuminated a small, crystal-clear stream that wound its way through the forest, glistening like silver under the gentle touch of the night. The surface of the stream shimmered, reflecting the light of the moon and the twinkling stars above, creating the illusion of a sky mirrored in the water's depths. The traveler stepped closer, drawn by the soothing sound of the water. The stream wound lazily through the clearing, its banks lined with smooth stones and soft moss-covered rocks. The water flowed effortlessly, swirling around the rocks, caressing the earth as it moved onward, carrying with it the quiet peace of the forest. The gentle murmur of the stream seemed to wash away all the worries of the world, replacing them with a sense of calm that wrapped itself around the traveler like a warm embrace. The traveler crouched by the stream, dipping their fingers into the cool, refreshing water. The touch of the stream was soothing, as if it had the power to cleanse the mind and soul. They watched as the water rippled gently around their fingers, sending tiny waves of light dancing across the surface. The sound of the stream was hypnotic, its soft gurgle a constant, comforting presence like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The night air, cool and crisp, seemed to carry the water's tranquility with it, filling the clearing with a deep, peaceful stillness. As the travelers sat the stream, they took a deep breath, letting the cool air fill their lungs. The scent of fresh water mingled with the earthy fragrance of the forest was a balm to the spirit. The moonlight silvery, bathed the entire clearing in a gentle glow, casting long shadows on the ground. The fireflies that had once hovered along the path now flitted around the stream, their tiny lights dancing in the air like stars come to earth. The traveler's gaze followed the stream as it meandered through the clearing, its waters flowing peacefully toward the horizon. There was no rush, no sense of urgency in the way the stream moved, just a gentle, constant flow toward an unknown destination. It was as though the stream knew that its journey was not about reaching the end, but about enjoying the quiet, peaceful moments along the way. And as the traveler watched the water's slow, rhythmic dance, they couldn't help but feel that same sense of calm settle within them. The moon's light seemed to grow even softer, casting a gentle glow across the stream's surface. And for a moment, the traveler could have sworn they saw the water shimmer with something more than just moonlight. There was magic here, a quiet enchantment in the air, as if the stream itself were a living thing, its waters filled with secrets and dreams waiting to be discovered. With a deep sigh, the traveler leaned back, their gaze turning upward to the sky. The stars were even brighter now, their distant light twinkling like diamonds scattered across the velvet expanse above. The forest, the stream, the moon, and the stars. Everything seemed to be woven together in a delicate tapestry of peace and beauty. The traveler closed their eyes, allowing the soft sounds of the stream, the rustling leaves, and the distant calls of nocturnal creatures to lull them into a deep sense of calm. Time seemed to stand still in this enchanted place, and for the first time in a long while, the traveler felt as though they had truly arrived at a place of rest. A place where the world's worries had no place to intrude. And so with the stream beside them and the night all around, the travelers sat in the quiet of the forest, letting the soothing rhythm of the water wash over them, carrying them deeper into the embrace of the night where dreams and peace await. Chapter 4. The Moonlit Garden. As the traveler continued their journey along the stream, the sound of the water faded into the distance, replaced by the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. The forest around them grew denser, but there was a calmness in the air that seemed to guide their steps. The moon above had risen higher, casting its silver glow across the world below, and as the path curved gently, the traveler found themselves entering a new part of the forest, one unlike any they had encountered before. The trees here were different. They were taller, their trunks gnarled and twisted, their branches heavy with vines and delicate flowers that shimmered in the moonlight. The air was thick with the scent of blooming jasmine, lavender, and wild rose. Each breath was an intoxicating blend of sweet floral fragrances that seemed to calm the mind and soothe the soul. The gentle breeze carried the scent even further, as if the forest itself were sharing its secret of this hidden garden. The path beneath the traveler's feet was lined with smooth, rounded stones, their surfaces glowing faintly in the moon's light, leading them deeper into the heart of the garden. The foliage grew thicker here, the flowers more abundant, their colors vibrant against the backdrop of silver moonlight. A soft ethereal glow filled the air, not just from the moon, but from the flowers themselves. It was as though the garden had its own light, a quiet, magical radiance that seemed to pulse with life. As the traveler ventured deeper, they noticed that the flowers here were unlike any they had seen before. They were larger, their petals soft and translucent, shimmering as though dusted with tiny flecks of stardust. Some flowers bloomed in brilliant shades of blue, others in soft pinks and purples, while others glowed a delicate silver. The colors seemed to shift and change as the traveler moved closer, as though the garden itself were alive with its own hidden rhythm. The air was filled with a soft hum, like the faintest of whispers, as if the flowers were speaking to one another in a language only they could understand. The traveler couldn't help but stop and gaze in wonder at the beauty around them. Each step felt like a step further into a dream where the ordinary world had faded away, replaced by something far more magical. The path eventually led the traveler to the center of the garden, where the flowers grew even more abundant, creating a natural circle of petals and leaves. In the center of this circle was a small pond, its waters still and clear, reflecting the light of the moon above like a perfect mirror. The pond was surrounded by clusters of delicate white lilies, their petals glowing softly, and the surface of the water shimmered with the gentle movement of the evening breeze. The traveler knelt by the pond, their fingers brushing the cool water's surface. The pond, like everything else in the garden, seemed to hold a peaceful stillness, as if time itself had slowed down here. The traveler could feel the calm energy of the garden seep into their very being, quieting their thoughts and easing their heart. It was as though the garden was offering them something: peace, rest, and a gentle invitation to let go of all the worries they had carried with them. Above, the moon hung in the sky like a silent guardian, its light bathing the garden in its soft, serene glow. The stars, too, shone brightly above, their distant light twinkling like tiny diamonds scattered across the dark velvet of the sky. It was a moment of perfect stillness, where the only sounds were the soft rustling of leaves, the whispering of the flowers, and the gentle lapping of the pond's water against the rock. The traveler closed their eyes, taking in a deep breath, allowing the beauty and tranquility of the garden to fill them completely. The air was so pure here, so full of peace, that it felt as though they had entered a sacred space, a place where time and the world outside could not reach. Everything here, from the flowers to the water to the moon itself, seemed to be part of the same quiet symphony. And in that moment, the traveler felt a profound sense of belonging. They were part of this garden, part of its peace, part of its magic. And so as they sat by the pond, the traveler let the quiet beauty of the moonlit garden embrace them, knowing that they had found a place of rest, a place where the worries of the world could fade away, and where only peace and calm remained. The garden, with its shimmering flowers and soft whispers, would always be there, a sanctuary under the stars, waiting to welcome anyone in search of a gentle, peaceful respite. Chapter 5. The Dreaming Hill. The traveler rose from the moonlit pond, feeling the soft energy of the garden still flowing within them like a gentle current of peace. They knew their journey wasn't over yet, though the tranquil beauty of the garden made it feel as though they had found everything they needed. But there was something beyond the garden, a calling in the night, a pull toward the horizon. It was the Dreaming Hill, and it whispered softly to them onward. The path curved gently as it wound upward, leading the traveler from the heart of the garden and into a quiet grove of tall, slender trees. Their leaves shimmered silver in the moonlight, creating a soft, soothing rustle in the breeze. The air here felt different, as if each breath was heavier with the promise of something greater. The stars above seemed closer now, twinkling in the dark sky like distant, quiet promises. And there at the top of the rise was the Dreaming Hill, a soft, sloping mound of earth bathed in a soft, ethereal glow. The hill rose quietly before them, its top bathed in the softest moonlight. The ground underfoot was soft and springy, as though inviting them to lie down to rest. Each step seemed to become more and more weightless, as though the earth itself was supporting them, easing the burden of every step they had taken on their journey. There were no harsh edges, no abrupt turns, just a gentle winding ascent leading the traveler to the summit. As they reached the top of the hill, the traveler stood for a moment, gazing out at the landscape before them. Below, the forest stretched far and wide, the path they had traveled winding through the trees, the moonlight casting its gentle glow over the world. The stars above seemed even more brilliant now, their light soft and constant, like silent companions. The wind had slowed to a quiet murmur, as though it too was resting, allowing the traveler a moment to be still, to take it all in. At the top of the hill, the world seemed to open up, stretching in every direction. The traveler could see the garden they had left behind, its soft glow now faint in the distance. They could see the path they had walked, winding like a ribbon through the forest, leading them through the night. And far off in the distance, beyond the hills and the trees, the traveler could see the very edge of the world, where the sky touched the earth, where the horizon seemed to fade into an infinite sea of stars. The hill was silent, except for the soft rustling of the grass and the distant call of an owl, its voice a gentle reminder that the night was alive with its own rhythm. The traveler closed their eyes, allowing the cool night air to wash over them, and for a moment they felt completely at peace. There was no rush here, no sense of urgency. Everything was still, everything was quiet, as though the world itself had paused, holding its breath in the stillness of the moment. Slowly, the traveler sank down onto the soft earth, their body relaxing into the hill as though the ground were cradling The grass beneath them was cool and comforting, a perfect cushion to rest upon. They stretched out, lying back to gaze up at the sky, the stars twinkling overhead in their eternal dance. The moon, full and bright, cast a gentle silver light upon the traveler as though it were offering its own embrace, wrapping them in its quiet glow. There was something magical about this place, something beyond the beauty of the landscape or the peace of the moment. It was as if the hill itself held the power to lull the soul into a deep, restful sleep. The traveler felt their body relax completely, each breath slow and steady, as though they were sinking deeper into the earth, becoming one with the hill, one with the night. The breeze, soft and cool, caressed their skin, carrying with it the faint scent of jasmine and lavender from the garden below. The stars above seemed to shine even brighter, and the traveler felt a sense of weightlessness, as if they were floating in the very heart of the night. The world around them was still, and in that stillness they felt a deep connection to everything, to the moon, to the stars, to the earth beneath them, and to the dreams that awaited in the quiet expanse of the night. And so as the traveler lay on the dreaming hill, the peaceful night wrapping itself around them, they closed their eyes and allowed sleep to come. The journey had brought them here to this perfect moment of rest where the mind could be still and the heart could be light. They felt the soft embrace of sleep pulling them gently into its depths, and with each breath they sank further into the dream-filled world that awaited them. Chapter 6. The dreamers returned. The traveler awoke slowly as though emerging from a deep, peaceful sleep that had nourished both their body and soul. The world around them had changed since they last closed their eyes. The dreaming hill, once bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, was now illuminated by the first light of dawn. The stars had quietly faded, replaced by the pale gold of the morning sun rising over the horizon. A soft, golden light spilled across the landscape, bathing the world in warmth and promise. The air was still cool, but there was a fresh, invigorating scent to it now. One filled with the fragrance of dew-kissed grass, fresh earth, and the delicate scent of flowers opening to the new day. The breeze was gentle, carrying with it the sound of birds beginning to sing their early morning songs, a chorus of life greeting the dawn. For a moment the traveler remained still, allowing the tranquility of the morning to fill their senses. The peace they had felt in the garden by the stream and upon the dreaming hill had not left them. It lingered in the air, in the very fabric of the morning. It was as though the entire world had reset itself, offering a new beginning, a fresh start. The travelers stood slowly, stretching their arms toward the sky, feeling the light stretch with them, as though the whole world was waking up with them. The hill beneath them seemed to rise up with them, its soft earth solid and sure, offering a foundation that felt steady and grounded. The beauty of the scene before them, the wide open landscape bathed in golden light, felt like a reminder that each new day was filled with endless possibility. The traveler gazed out over the world, their heart full of quiet wonder. It was as if in their journey they had discovered something profound, something not just about the world around them, but about themselves. The garden, the stream, the hill, and the peaceful night had each shared their wisdom, their magic, showing the traveler that the key to peace was within them, waiting to be uncovered. The breeze, now warmer with the rising sun, caressed the traveler's face, bringing with it the soft scent of flowers from the garden below. The colors of the world were now more vibrant, the greens of the trees, the blues of the sky, and the soft yellows of the morning sun, all blending together in a tapestry of serenity. It was a landscape that felt as though it was alive with the quiet hum of the earth, each moment brimming with the possibilities of the day. With a gentle sigh, the traveler began to make their way down the hill. There was no hurry now, no rush to reach any destination. They walked slowly, savoring the quiet beauty of the world around them. The path that had once seemed so uncertain now felt familiar, as though it had always been waiting for them to return. The air was filled with the sounds of morning, birds singing, leaves rustling, and the distant murmur of the stream. The journey had not ended, it had only shifted into something new, a different chapter in the story of their life. As the traveler walked, they noticed that the world had changed not just in the light of the morning, but within themselves as well. They felt lighter, freer, as though the weight of the journey had dissolved with the night. The peace they had found in the dreaming hill and the garden, and in the soft murmur of the stream had settled into their heart, becoming part of who they were. The world around them seemed more vivid, more alive, as if they were seeing it for the first time, their senses awakened by the magic of the night. By the time they reached the edge of the forest, the sun was fully risen, casting its golden rays across the land. The traveler paused, looking back toward the dreaming hill, now a soft silhouette against the brightening sky. It had been a place of rest, of peace, and of dreams, a place that had offered them everything they needed, and yet it was now a memory, a part of their journey that would always remain within them. With a final glance at the hill, the traveler turned toward the path ahead. The world was wide, filled with endless possibilities, and they knew that whatever lay before them, they would carry the peace they had found within their heart. The journey was not over, it was only just beginning. With a renewed sense of purpose, the traveler walked forward, knowing that the peace of the dreaming hill would guide them, no matter where the road might lead. And so the traveler continued their way, carrying the lessons of the journey with them, ready to face whatever the world would bring, their heart full of the quiet magic that only dreams and peace could create. Good night, dear, with sweet dreams. We met in next